Well, hello, welcome to Drawing with Fire. I'm Valarie, your neighborhood pyrography artist, and I'm drawing with hubby.
Okay.
And today we are playing with the digital stuff. So, I had to do some work to figure out how to get stuff on the screen, but we got it. I'm going to switch screens and we will get started. So, I want to make a mermaid. I've been requested multiple times for a mermaid, but I don't want it to be the normal, typical mermaid. I want it to be almost hauntingly weird and romantic, and maybe a little more realistic of what a fish woman would be that lived in the water, you know. But at the same time, I still want her to be beautiful.
We have a problem.
What? We have a problem. Oh no. Why does it look like that?
I don't know.
Oh, hold on. It may be us. It's us.
It's us?
It's us. It should clear up. I don't know why. Okay, let me real quick figure out why this frame looks so bad.
Yeah, it's very pixelated.
It shouldn't be.
I mean, it doesn't look like it on our feed.
Well, no.
I mean, look at the live there. Up there, it looks fine.
Then it's got to be the tablet. Does it look good to you guys? Because it's got to be the tablet.
Let me check it on my phone.
If that's what's going on. Let me close it out real quick. Down, child, down. And see if that gets better, because it shouldn't look like that. And it may just be the tablet.
Alright. I have my phone down, but for whatever reason, that's separate stuff.
Let's see if they say no. No, it doesn't look good, or no, it doesn't look bad.
Actually,
if it looks normal,
I think it's fine. It's pretty small on my phone, but it doesn't look pixelated.
For whatever reason, it just may be the tablet.
No, it looks fine. It's a tablet.
Okay.
Alright.
Well, you can at least see the chat on the tablet.
False alarm.
Sorry. Hey, Kathy, Sheila, Andrea. No, it's fine. Not pixelated. All right, let's get going. Thank goodness.
They're pretty small, though.
Yeah, it's just... I know. I had to in order to have a bigger
me?
screen. I said, yeah, I know.
Oh.
We have... In order for them to
the
see.
Shush motion.
I didn't shush. I didn't shush you.
I was like it, and you were like, silence!
No. Alrighty. Let's take that off the screen. So this was my original layout. Now, I've got this beautiful woman, except she's not going to be a beautiful woman. She's going to be a fish woman, and the mask that you see right here is showing that she's not really what we perceive. But I don't like the background, and this is a bunch of photos put together, and so I may have to start over, but I can move elements over that I like, and I have things pulled up right now. Let me click off this so we can see all the colors. And so I'm trying to figure out how I want this. Now I'm using this big old piece of wood back here. It's 23 and a half by 13 3/4. So it's a pretty big piece of wood, which is why I have this. This is the actual file size of the wood. That way, when I make my pattern, I know it's going to fit. It's at 100 DPI, which is what it should be. And what I'm going to do is I know that I want some... Oh, I need a keyboard. I use my keyboard. So I'm going to click on... So you can see hopefully my pointer on this side. I'm going to click and pick the things that I want to drag over to this new. I'm just going to drag her over. I should have brought. See, now I can see I can go a little bit bigger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the frame. We'll do it that way. And we will. I had to make this custom frame with the shells. Come on, go in there, drop. Too big. Why are you not dropping on me? Let me drag it up here. You know what? I'm going to copy. Maybe. I know what it is. Let's do this. Undo. Maybe. Nope. You know, I know how to do all this crap. But the minute I'm on... Okay. I'll try it that way. Nope. The minute I'm on screen, it all goes to hell. I don't know what this is about. I don't know why. It's not letting me drop. Let's see here. So we are going to...
Hey, Roxy.
Convert to smart object. That is probably what my problem is.
Hey.
Now I should be able...
You gotta bite my arm.
There it is. There it is. It wasn't a smart object. So that's what the problem was. So now I need to figure out, because I actually had this wood laid out a little smaller, as you can see. So now I have to figure out.
So what's a smart object?
It's a good question. I'm not 100% sure.
Oh.
See, I want it to take up more room, so I'm going to have to figure out, duplicate. So I'm going to move one where I want it. I'm going to have to overlap in order to get what I want. And I'm going to have to move this one. Make sure I line it up right.
A smart object is a non-destructive layer.
There we go.
So you can always undo it.
Yeah.
If you need to. See, I learned something too. I work pretty different. I don't work as sophisticated as you. It
needs to go over more. And what I can do is I can delete each side. I'll mask it off. That way I don't necessarily lose everything. So I'm going to mask it. Grab my pen. I'm using, let me pop it up real quick. I am using, you're going to see stuff.
I'm going to see stuff?
Yeah, because I'm having to, so how's that? I have to
it's
wait.
Still pixelated.
I can't see what's on the screen right now. That should be the drawing tablet that's showing.
I have to wait for it to catch up.
Not yet. So I'm using this drawing tablet. I have it linked down in the description. I have Photoshop up. And, oops, I'm going to take this back off because it's in my way. It's hard when I can't see what's going on.
Yeah, okay.
Alright, so zooming in. Looks like my lines are not perfectly aligned. Bump that up. Back it out. See, and now I'm out of line down here, which means I need to drag just a little bit more. And now everything should line up. I know this might seem like a pain, but what I'm about to do is going to get rid of the confusing part of it. Yeah, so this is the mask. I'm working right here on this, and what it does, it just covers things, but it doesn't erase it. What am I going to do? I can even go with a bigger pen. So I'm going to take off, not that. Oh, it's this side that I need to take off. There we go. And I need to make a mask on this side. And take it from this side.
Cleared up finally.
Oh, good.
For me.
And look at that. We now have a bigger frame. Oh, shoot, fire. I went too far. I went too far. I just need this side cut and done. I went over to the other side and it took it off.
I see what you did.
Yeah. So now what I can do is I can now merge these two layers. And now I have a frame that fits the wood that I can move around a little bit. still looking at it. I'm trying to figure out. All right. Now, I'm going to actually delete these because I'm going to go back over here because I also need to grab this tail. And now this stuff I got off of Envato. I do have that linked below. Let's see here. Do I want the seaweed? You know what? Sure, why not? It's not like I can't take them away. Right?
Yep.
So I have a lot of things on here that I'm not using because I decided I didn't like how it looked. Oh yes, that's right. That's right. It's gonna make me create. Let's see here. I really don't want them together though. Because if I don't like something as a layer, so I'll make this a smart object and move it over. And I haven't decided, I want her to come out of the frame. I don't want her to stay in it. So what I did is I undid the convert on my original file. That way if I need to change anything, no, undo. I want this. Where are we hiding it? Where are we hiding it? There's a bunch of things that... Oops, did you hit your head? Where did they go? I'm going to undo everything just so I can see what's going on. I need that, I need that, I need that, I need that. Convert to smart object. See, if I screw up when you guys aren't looking, it's not a big deal because you don't know I screwed up. It can be a little stressful screwing up on camera. Let me try to grab this. I don't know why it's not. There we go. Sometimes you have to hit it the right way.
There we go. There we go.
Now I can move it around. See, now this one is in front of her, and that's not where I wanted it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the lasso, grab it, and then I'm going to make a new layer. It's going to say via copy, but I want via copy. And then I can go back into this, go ahead and mask it, just in case I don't want to lose anything. Now that's gone. I can go back over to the one I just took off and drop it below her. See, that's the beauty of layers. You get to move things around, clean things up. Let's see, it wasn't like on here. See, I need to undo everything. Okay, it was behind her. So I can just grab it.
No.
Why?
Look over here. No, over here.
Oh, what are you doing up there? No.
I'll put her down.
You make everybody jealous because Dad's holding her.
I just wanted to chat to see her.
Because I'm on the wrong layer.
Guys, come down.
That's why I'm causing myself some problems. There we go. No.
Shh. No, it's not playtime.
Now, there's something, I have to figure out the size. There was something I wanted to add to the top. I mean, you see that I have that mermaid there, and I don't know that I want that. What I've been thinking, what popped into my head later, is actually this face, which I think she's absolutely gorgeous. Those eyes are phenomenal. And I was thinking about putting her eyes, phantom eyes, in the water. That's what my vision popped. My brain was like, how about you do this? And so I was like, okay, let's try to do that. So I'm going to put her, I'm going to have to resize. Although I wanted more of an angle where the woman was looking down and her eyes were up. So I may have to figure that out. Because I do love this lady's eyes. And I love how her hair is already floating in the water. So I can put water on top of her and it fits.
Mm.
You know? Her hair is already doing what I want it to do. But based on this, I need to make this one smaller. But I don't want to go too small. And like I said, I want her to cross the boundary of the frame. But I can't visualize quite yet because we see legs and not a fin. Not a tail. Let me see if I can
Fur all over me, puppy.
select my subject and see if I can just get her out of the water. Yeah, that works for me.
How'd you do that?
I went over to the left-hand side, the quick select tool.
Yeah.
And then I hit select subject. And now what I'm going to do is mask. That shows us what has been masked. I don't need...
That's something that I just now learned.
Oh, you didn't?
Yeah.
I thought you knew how to do that.
Well, I think I've seen it before, but what I've been doing is probably a hard thing. Is I select a general outline with a pen tool, and then I erase.
Well, it depends on what it is. It's not always
so much
perfect.
quicker.
It's not always perfect.
Yeah, but it's still like a lot quicker, and you're getting a lot more nuance with it. So
I'm going to take off.
You're using an eraser tool?
No, I masked it.
Oh, you masked it. Okay.
I just want to take because I just want.
Hopefully this isn't.
Just want the head.
Hopefully this isn't too confusing, but.
Yeah, I'm trying not to. I'm trying to.
Photoshop is crazy.
And there are a ton of awesome videos on it.
Okay.
Alright. Make that smaller. But now I can put the water in front of her and behind her.
Yeah.
So that's why I needed to get rid of the blue.
Man. I'm gonna use that today.
But see, what I haven't figured out, and maybe you guys have some input, please. What to do around the frame. Do I leave it open? Do I pull some stuff outside the frame? So what I mean outside the frame is right here in this area. Do I go completely dark? But I do think we can cross this field. And I had thought about having seaweed wrapped up around it, but I'm not sure.
I mean, all these are aesthetic choices because you're basically what you're doing is compositing your final composition, and I think that's one of the really nice things about Photoshop and other graphics programs is that it allows you to kind of put things together. It reminds me of like when you're a kid, you have those like little scenes and they're like little vinyl stickers that you could move around and stuff, and you could make stuff. You could make whole scenes.
Yeah.
But this is like the advanced version of it, you know. But it is very confusing if you have not worked with Photoshop, and I can say from experience that from the outside looking in, it is crazy confusing. The best thing you can do if this interests you is to start playing around in Photoshop and then look up some people who are like
masters in it, because I'm not a master. I do pretty good on getting what I want.
Yeah, like
overall, but
like if you want to like do kind of It's called Photo Bashing. Like Imad Iwan is he's pretty good, and then PXM Perfect is really phenomenal. Like he's got so many subjects. So if you want to like learn how to do something specific in Photoshop, the odds are is that he's got a tutorial on it. But you just kind of have to dig into it, because it's not something that is you have to kind of learn hands-on.
Yeah.
It's really difficult to do otherwise.
I think I'm gonna skip the hair, because what I want is her eye. I want her face. I don't know if I can get my perspective the way I want it.
But I think you should have like an indication of hair, otherwise she's just gonna look bald.
Well, I agree, and that I have. I'm trying to slightly make it look like he's...
So I guess the point of this stream is that Val is showing you kind of the process that she goes through in order to make a pattern. So in showing all those elements and how they're put together and how they can be adjusted, and so that's something that you potentially could use as a tool for your own work.
Yes.
Is that, you know, you could take a bunch of elements of things that you see for a final composition and kind of composite them together, and it's really helpful.
What I'm doing right now is I'm checking the tint. I put on down here at the bottom right. You'll see this little. Hopefully you can see it. It's so hard that I can't see you guys. To know what you guys can see. Do I need to pull it up a little bit?
No.
Okay, there we go. I clicked at the very top. Had my... I'm going to take this off just... So I have my piece. I'm on the top layer, and I clicked the half circle, filled in, half not, and I clicked on black and white. And what it did was it created a gradient, or a black and white and sepia for the all the photos. So I don't have to change layers or whatnot, because I've put the filter on top of everything.
Oh, okay.
So that... I wonder if her face needs to also kind of back down a little bit. I guess I want it to be haunting. And I actually, the water photo that I picked has the sun coming down, and I actually like that being right...
I do too.
Over her like that.
Because it makes it look like that she's underwater. So.
Yeah.
Also, just be aware that if you go back, Morgan's face is right next to a wheel.
Okay. But I want this bigger, I feel. But I don't want to go too crazy. So? I don't know. I'll have to keep working it to see. So I couldn't find any perfect position, although... The lady I have on screen, she's close. Perfect position to the angle for the mask. I gotta figure out. I don't want her elbow to cross. See, and that's a problem. If I didn't have this frame, I could go bigger and it'd be okay. So do I need the frame? Is the frame... even necessary?
No, I like the frame because it gives it...
Well, look at this. Look up.
Yep, I like it. Me personally, I like the frame because I think it reinforces the Art Nouveau look.
Which is kind of what I wanted with it, yes.
Yeah, and
I had to make the frame with the shells. It didn't come with that. I had to pull that from something else. And...
No, stop.
Now, what we see here is, now that we're black and white, or we're sepia, the seaweed doesn't stand out as much. What I can do is I can adjust it.
I think that part in particular is really important, what you're doing. And I'll wait for you to finish adjusting it.
That's too light. I think we need to go. Do we need darker?
I think darker is better for balance. What was that, curves?
That was curves, but I'm going to actually...
Which is a portion of Photoshop, for those that don't know. Which allows you to adjust certain aspects of an image as opposed to the whole image.
Now I'm in exposure.
And that's,
I guess it's kind of hard to tell because I have the darkness around the frame. And again, do I have the whole piece and just have the frame like this? Or do I'm going to have to copy this again. Duplicate layer. Because now I'm going to mask this. He really... Let's see, what do I have? 60, 60, so this is going to have to go down to 30.
She's too faint.
I know, it's just because I have another layer up.
Oh.
Then no, I need to keep her at 60. What I'm going to do is pull this one, because I'm going to mask. What I'm doing is I want to pull the side, I want to mask the side so we can see the difference and make that choice.
So I think what you're doing here for, like, however you're intending to composite, if that's what you're going to do, I think one of the most useful things for a pyrographer, actually for any artist, is to see, because when we look at colors, and it's hard to tell what that composition is going to look like when it's in sepia. So for pyrography in particular, it's nice to be able to see how those different elements will turn out once they're converted to monochromatic, which is those sepia tones. So you can see your contrasts and see what you need to adjust to make.
I'm just trying to get a close wood color so that I can see what's going on.
Okay.
I think we're going to lose it there.
So is that what you're doing? You're filling in with the wood
I'm taking
color?
it away. I've got a different layer.
Okay.
I've masked. Oops. Not what I wanted to do. Because I'm trying to decide if I want to keep the water also within the vertical and yeah, remember to lift the pen every so often so that when I undo it doesn't take everything away.
Because the way that Photoshop works is that as long as you have the pen in contact with a surface and you're writing, you're drawing, it'll continue to do what it's doing. But then if you mess up something and you press undo, it's going to do that. It's going to undo everything from the last time the pen touched down. So what Val was saying is if you pick up every so often, then if you screw up and you have to undo something, then you don't have to redo so much. Which is something that I use I use undo all the time. That's one of the great things about Photoshop because you don't have to worry about having an eraser. If you screw up something, a little bit, you just undo it, and then you can try it again.
Yes. There we go. I can see. And always try to make sure you're on the layer mask and not the layer, because then you're painting over it. Alright. So we got that hair away. Hey Burl, do I like that better than that? Wait a minute.
See the other one again?
Hold on. I'm trying. There we go. So that... What I need to do is I am going to...
The shells on the bottom are a little dark.
Well, they are because the blue's behind it. What I'm going to do is I am going to... I just put one. So now... What did I put in here? Oh, okay. I put this when it shouldn't have been in here. It actually goes in here. Sorry, guys. There we go. So we got that. And I'm actually going to bump this here so I can keep these on. Where's my other copy? Did I undo too much? No. Now I understand. Alright. So we have this. That's fine. Versus this. Do I like the water better? Does it make the lines coming from the light read better? Does it feel less enclosed? So what I need to do is duplicate this again. I'm going to get rid of her hair because I know kind of throwing me off, and it allows me to see the shells better. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just trying to make choices that way, because you already saw that I did this once and I wasn't happy with it. So, but that's the beauty of doing it digitally, is you could do a lot of work, and as long as there we go.
So I think that would probably be less work, right? Having the frame like that you have it right now.
Like this?
Yeah.
But does it feel claustrophobic?
I mean,
versus
I personally like that. But that's my personal aesthetic.
And then what do I do with the shells, because it's darker at the bottom?
I think you'd have to make the shells white. In which case that would be very difficult because it's pyrography, so you'd either have to do it as a negative or you'd have to, you know what I mean? Because that's a lot of lines.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to, but having the dark shells, like having the dark outlines would be easier, because then that would be a lot simpler than trying to burn around them or paint over after. And so I think...
What about her hair? See, I have to make these choices now, because once I start drawing...
Well, I think that looks better, personally.
Without? Or do I want to put...
Like it is right now.
Some of the hair in?
Well, I mean...
Coming out. Not necessarily a whole lot.
I would probably do that, personally. That's because, again, that's my aesthetic. I would probably put some hair coming out, or even curling around the lines.
Yeah, and I thought about that too. What is our...
But I think at the bottom, I think that it might be good to lighten it up a little bit so you can see those bottom shells.
Yeah.
Like, you can still have the dark gradient, but doing the shells design in dark is a lot simpler than trying to keep them light. You know what I mean?
Or I can just paint them gold or silver.
I mean, you could.
Probably gold, because gold seems to go better with burning.
But I personally, this is just my personal opinion.
Yes, please.
Okay, but I have a real issue painting fine gold lines on wood. And it doesn't turn out for me. So it's something that I shy away from.
Well, see, this right here, I'm still looking at her pose. So her fin can come up and then it goes down. But see, I want a big old fishtail.
Yeah.
But I don't want her elbow crossing the frame. But it's right on the frame. You see the problem I'm having with that?
Well, I mean, I would put
And what I did was on this one, because Envanto has all kinds of, or it has like 3D fins that you can move around and get it into the position you want.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't happy with any of them based on her position. So I have to figure out how I don't really want her small. So I've got to figure out, anybody got any opinion? Trying to cover that and do that. Like I said, her elbow is necessary. I can extend the rocks. I'm not worried about that. Let's see here. A little more angled, maybe? But then her fin has to have room. I also thought about bringing her forward and having the fin right here in front of her. Because she's not nude, I'm going to have to... It might actually be better to bring the fin in front of her.
Okay.
Because... I don't have to worry about not putting any clothes on her. I mean, I don't have a problem with her being nude, but... And I don't want the typical... seashell boobies.
Yeah.
You know? You see, it foreshortens if I bring it forward. But I don't know that I like that. And see what I can do is I can integrate it, and that's another thing about doing your pattern in Photoshop. Or, oh yeah, and I was going to discuss, you can do a lot of this, not all of it, but a lot of this with Adobe, Sketchbook Pro.
Okay.
On a tablet, you can do a lot of what I'm doing. So I brought her hair over. What I'm doing is I'm lowering the opacity on the tail so I can see where things are at, so I can figure out what I want to mask. Like right here. Make sure I hit that. There we go. Right here, I can pull the tail under her hand so it goes with her like this. It's interacting with her.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else can I pull? Cranky butt, knock it off. Oops. Sorry, I'm using my dial to get bigger and smaller. So now it looks like they go together. Now the tail is just placement so I can see where what needs to go where. It's not like that's going to be the exact way it's going to look. I need to take that tail away just so I can see how it interacts with the head behind her. So I can just mask this one. That's why I make multiple copies. Once I'm completely done, I can delete those copies. And because this is a smart object together, I have to be careful. Everything's together instead of in layers. There we go. Can I undo the smart object? I cannot. That's fine. Not a big deal. There we go. So now, because I moved her where the position of her tail is, now we can see how the head and her interact. Now, should her head be straight on like that? Should it be angled?
The mermaid?
In the back.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Oh, it's fine that way?
I think so.
Okay. And see, I can adjust how dark she shows up in the water. Yeah, I can make her really hide. And that's what I want. I don't want it overly obvious. I guess I do need it darker for burning purposes. Alright, let's see what we're looking at. Now, I don't want her in the water. So do I bring her outside the frame?
Who don't you want in the water?
My full body mermaid.
I thought she was underwater.
No, I want her...
Is she sitting?
I want her crossing the frame.
Okay.
But that would also allow me to go bigger. Because then I don't have to... See, I can go bigger with her. Right now, she's 14 inches high by 14 inches wide.
Is that the size of the...
The wood's right behind you. The size of the wood is 23 and a half.
Geez, that's a big piece.
Yeah, it's a big piece. But it's because she's got details. When I turn everything into fish, basically, I need... Let's see here. I need things to be there so I can... I'm actually going to take out... Because this is clothes, so we don't need clothes. There's a leg, and then there should be a leg right here, based on the pose. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take off this dress. Don't need it. It's not going to be used in the piece, so I can get rid of this so it's not so screwing with my brain. I'm actually just going to... That doesn't... She would be whiter. Alright. So now that we see that, I'm trying to figure out where, if I keep the tail in front of her, I need to have room to bring it forward. So, you know what, we're going to quickly draw, just so I can see. So when I draw, I tend to grab a different color. Since there's a blue background, we're going to go red. Yes, so. Let's see here. I always go no bigger than a 3 on my pen. And what I'm doing, I'm going to have to zoom in more so I can see. So we know her hip. I always hit the button. So I even went looking for photos of seals to see how they sat.
Yeah.
And see, that's too close to the edge for what I want. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this photo just so I can see. There we go. That's fine. Take away stuff I don't need. There we go. So the tail, that is going to have to be thinner. So I'm going to have to thin it out. But I can go bigger at the top. I'm just sketching to see what I like. And so we can right there. Everybody's so quiet.
Yeah, they're not commenting.
Alright. So let's see. See, and then I got the problem of the shift. But I like how her top half is sitting. So I have to figure out how. I mean, maybe I need to make this smaller. Work with me. Why aren't you working with me? Huh. Okay, what's going on? That's weird. It won't let me move. Maybe because I was on a race. Nope. What is going on? I can move her. I know what it is. I gotta unlink them. I think that's what the problem is. Alright, there we go. Or not. I don't understand why I'm having an issue. Now I can move it. Why couldn't I move it under? See, it's not letting me move when I...
How much do you need to move it?
Well, I was going to make it smaller, but
oh,
it's not letting me do anything. This is really weird. Never had this problem, so obviously I got something. See if I can do it with a different layer. See, it's not letting me. What do I have? Do I have anything on? So I can move it like this. But I can't change the size.
no.
Something's off. Can I warp it? See, I can't do anything with it.
Was there a big X on it?
I disabled that mask.
Oh.
I don't understand what's going on with that. It's really weird. Sorry guys, this has got to be like one of the most boring live streams ever. I don't know. I'll pull the file in. Don't look at everything else. You know what? I'm going to switch over to the blank screen just because I feel more comfortable not showing strangers. You guys aren't the strangers. Showing strangers on the internet my files.
Oh, gotcha.
That's all. It's nothing to do with them. It's anybody else who doesn't normally interact with us or what have you. What did they do? So sorry the screen is the way it is right now. Okay. So I will quickly. There we go. This was the fin and whatnot that I got off of Envato. What I can quickly do, I'm already logged into Envato. So what I can do, and this is a paid service, and it is not cheap, but it has hundreds of thousands of things.
Yeah, 3D models that you rotate.
Music, video.
And like a lot of their models and objects, they're already PNGs, so you can just drop them into Photoshop. You don't have to worry about
altering.
You don't have to worry about trying to select them or anything like that. So.
You can see all the women that I've been looking at, trying to figure out certain elements. This is in my save folder, but what I'm looking for is the tail. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to type mermaid tail.
Was it a 3D asset?
Yep, that's where I'm going. So we're going to, these are all the assets. So I'm going to hit 3D. Oh, gotta search. So we see all these different versions of what they have. Of course, they're cartoony, but I'm looking to use them for position, not for detail. It's just so... Did I not get it from there? Maybe not. Maybe I got it from Pixabay. I may have gotten it from Pixabay. But see, we got different positions, and I can move these positions. Let's look at this. It's kind of a pain in the ass to move around, but you can. But then the angle I want. See how it foreshadows? So she's sitting like that. I'm going to download it. Where's it going to put it? That's fine. So this is one of the positions I have. And I can continue to move it around. See, she's at... But I can flip the tail up. So I'll switch back to here. You're going to see all my files. Got lots of stuff. Alright. Take that back off. Now you guys can see what's going on again. And I'm going to pull that tail I just had. And there we go. And it comes with no background. Excuse me. What are you doing? Why? Are you being cranky?
You're on crop.
I know, I'm trying to crop.
Oh, okay.
But for whatever reason, it's being cranky. I don't understand.
That's weird that it's not centered on it.
Maybe I've got too many things running. You know?
Maybe.
Because we're live streaming.
Yeah.
What the? Fudgesicles.
We have 5 minutes left.
I don't need it that high. Yeah, maybe it's because we're live streaming at the same time, so maybe, even though my computer has been updated. See, it's not letting me. It's really weird. Let's see here, that's her. No. We need the fishtail right now. That's my hand. I'm going to have to use that. We don't need that right now. Alright. So why isn't it showing?
It is.
There it is. Let's see, hopefully I can... I don't know what's going on with this. See, it's not letting me... I don't know what this is about. I've never had this happen.
Like you said, I think it might be too much running at once. So it's having problems.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly save it and then reopen it. Maybe it's just... I don't know. I'm going to switch screens. Not that I don't trust the super toasties, because I absolutely do. It's people who aren't.
Yeah.
It'd be strangers. That's all. I just do that. I'm gonna close it out and then I'll put the screen back for you guys. And hopefully things will start working again. Alrighty.
Well, if not, we're almost done.
Yeah, that's not the point. Deep breath. Deep breath. I'm going to save it as a different file. Oop. No, it's already a pancake. I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand.
So what are we doing next week?
Well, hopefully I will have this all put together and drawn out, and we'll start burning it. Okay. What I didn't show is how I'm going to crop this to print for... let me just take this stuff off. Let's put everything back just so I can show you real quick how this will be printed. Now, obviously, I mean, because I have a top feed printer, the longest, I'm pretty not closed off to how long, it's just how wide. So what I have to figure out is, let's see here, is how many prints I'm going to have to do with this.
Yeah. Oh, is that the grid of
yeah, I'm trying to decide, but I just realized
it's like 9.
I didn't check the grid for, but you know, it's fine. It's fine. Stay with me. Stay with me. So what I have to do is what I tend to do when I'm doing this is I will find halves. So we know this is 13.5 inches wide. If I go at 8 inches, it's a little big, but 13.5, isn't that? Huh. Why is my piece so wide? That's really weird. It shouldn't be that wide. tight. I mistyped. So that's going to reshape it. So I'm going to have to fix the photos. For now, for what I'm showing you, that's fine. So 6.5, 6 3/4 actually puts us a half. So I would put a marker right here. I don't understand why things aren't working like they're supposed to. So, but anyway, I would put a marker. And then I'd also figure out how many down. So 23 down. I don't have anything bigger than 17. But I think I would actually go with my 11 by 14. So 23.5. Half of that. And there's I'm only printing outline in this size. So 14. What is half of 23.5? 24 is 12. Half. What is it? About here. That's fine. So I would crop. Which it ain't gonna. It's not gonna. I'm not gonna. I would crop one section.
So 11
asshole.
points.
Asshole. Asshole.
Language.
I don't give a fudgesicle.
Half would be 11.75.
I don't give a crap right now.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure. Not you. Sorry. It's not you. I'm sorry. I am mad at Photoshop right now. I've never had any of this crap happen to me.
Why don't we wrap up because we're already past the hour.
All right. So I would crop the size that I would need. What I will do is maybe once I get all the composition the way I want it, I will maybe do a quick screenshot video showing of just drawing the pattern. So this was the composition, how I put things together. And it tends to go a lot more smoothly than this. But because you guys are watching, it's like not going to happen. I have never had this problem. So that's what I do. I pull elements for things that I like it to put in with. I have to figure out the tail. The tail may actually come down this way and just come off in this corner. That might be the best solution for that. But yeah, that's how I put photos together for a pattern. If you remember the Hummingbird Queen, this is the exact same way I put that composition piece together before I drew my pattern. Trying to think what other pieces I have done that you guys know about. Oh, well, I do this every year for World Pyrography Month. I have to put things together. The Raven and the Kitty was put together this way. Let's fill in the frame. Let's see here. Don't look at me. I'm trying to think of what we've done live that makes sense so that you know how I put it together. I'm sorry, I'm very frazzled right now. I have never had this happen. And maybe it's because I'm running all the stuff that I'm running.
Probably.
Maybe that's the problem. I don't know. I'm just going to click some of the stuff off so I can decide. Oh, I got to take her off. She's like floating there by herself. Figure out where I put her. You can see I've got so much. You can make as many layers as you want. It is better if you can grip it. I didn't even show you the hand. But with the way things are running. This is my hand. I took a photo because I couldn't find the position that I wanted. Holding the end for... let's see if this will even let me. Nope. So I will overlay that with her hand. And she'll have a stick holding the mask. I can't see anything. So, I went to see chat. I haven't seen you guys.
But they're not talking.
They're not talking?
No.
Why aren't they talking? Let's do that. You can't see any of my settings. But they haven't talked. Or does it just need to
No, it's...
be
No, they're not talking.
Is everybody still here?
It's me and 3 other people. I don't know who.
Okay. Well, at this point, I'm pretty sure I have frustrated
Sorry.
the hell out of people. So we are going to end this with, you're awesome. You can do this. Why? Because you're a pyro artist, and hopefully it popped on the screen. I can't see the screen.
I don't.
Happy burning, guys. Bye. Oh, this was bad. It was bad.